Hey Internet. Now, I know a while ago I did this game, Hyperdimension Neptunia, and I kind of shit on it a little bit, saying it was kind of ridiculous, the cutscenes were very silly, and while those things are still true, I played the game a bit to do the review, and afterward ended up playing it more. I ended up completing the game, and then twice more so I could get 100% completion, and it turns out it's actually a rather addictive and fun game. You gotta get past the anime perversion and just some of the things that you could expect with the JRPG, but when you get to the game itself, it's actually a really decent game. So when I saw it was actually a franchise and there were more games, I decided to pick up the other ones and see what they're about. And this here is the second one, Hyperdimension Neptunia mk2. Actually it just says mk2, but I'm assuming that means Mach. I haven't gotten far enough in to properly review the game. I can tell you the battle system has changed. I can't really say yet whether I like this one less or more. There's a lot more you have to think about in this one, I can say that much. Also, the DLC the first one offered that lets you kind of start the game a little powered up, that's not there anymore either. So they've made some changes. The game itself, it still has a lot of the same inside jokes at the game industry, references to various things, so it still has the same kind of humor it had. Some of the same characters are there, so you can expect a little bit of the same, but some new stuff too. So if you like the first one, I'd say pick the second one up. But the real reason I'm talking about it is the first 20 minutes or so of the game are all cutscenes. And they're way more ridiculous than the ones in the first game. So I just decided that I'd take a note out of Unskippable's book here and just show you guys how ridiculous this is. So I'm gonna do that now. Enjoy! Alright, here we go. The first of 9,000 credit reel intro things. Jesus Christ, there's so many. Holy crap, a game's starting. Okay, I'm gonna skip the intro movie because there's enough intro crap already that I have to show you. Okay, now first off I want to tell you that right here, while looking at the DLC, I got my first trophy in the game. That's right, the game is not started yet, I'm simply going through the list of DLC I downloaded, and already my first trophy. Also, there's a lot of DLC. And this is where my questions start. What the fuck was that? I don't know of any games that start with a random bald Japanese guy. And I kind of liked it better when I didn't know of any games that started with a random bald Japanese guy. I would say to each his own, but I really can't think of anyone anywhere that really wanted and or needed that. The graphics actually seem worse than the last game. Like, the background graphics are really pretty, all the rocks and that stuff, but the character models just, I don't know, not as good. Such a silly game.
No way! Not even my sister and the other CPUs can stand up to her!
And the introduction of Nepgear, which I can only assume is Game Gear. For some reason I don't see a character for Game Boy, which would be a much more important one, considering, but we'll go with it.
If things go on like this,
It is Sega's game, so they can do what they want.
20XX.
The year of Mega Man.
Industry faces a dire crisis.
Mega Man can fix it.
Shops are boarded up, creators are overworked and starving, and death looms over all game industry. However,
That's not a word.
humanity perseveres on. In years past, the deserted lands of game industry were known as the realm of chaos. Since the advent of ASIC, the R4 Syndicate...
I don't know what half those consoles in the background are supposed to be perfectly honest. And I know a lot of consoles, but like that one on the bottom right there, what the crap was that?
Parents, knowing this a poor object to worship, went ahead and taught their children to do so. The government turned a blind eye instead of crushing this crisis in its infancy. Thus, game industry fell into complete and utter disarray.
Also, I should point out, if somehow the very not vague metaphor is lost on you, pretty much the point of this whole series is to explain to you that game piracy is bad. That's really, that's what it all boils down to. Like, there's a plot, and there's characters, and all sorts of things happen, but the main moral of the story is if you pirate games, you're bad. Just figured I'd save you a bunch of time in case you didn't want to play the games for some reason, and let you know that right off the bat. But wait, there's more. The cutscenes haven't ended just yet.
this is the game industry graveyard, huh? We're finally here.
Second achievement popped here, by the way.
Yes, it seems that way. You're scared already?
Wait.
Stop stuttering.
Why? IF's name just there popped up as Nepgear.
So many creepy,
That's
crawly
the wrong character and not even in this scene. So, yeah. I'm gonna call that wrong.
all end up.
Oh, I have to hit a button to make this text go. My bad.
Is that really true? Yes, geez, it's true. Why don't you just wait here?
Still, with the
No, wait!
the capabilities of the PS3, I'm really surprised this is the best they could do with the graphics. I mean,
Yeah, me too.
there's a lot of RPGs for the system, and even the JRPGs, I've seen some with better graphics than
Realize
this.
how worried we are?
Everything is as it should be. They
I
will
feel like they
all
really
just
could have
fine,
tried a little
even with
harder.
severe injuries, so long as they possess the Sharasite.
It's a crystallization of people's faith. So, I guess you're right. All right, Compa. Let's find our friends and drag them back home if we have to. Yes, ma'am. We've walked for a long time. We sure have.
Really? It's only been about
Where
10
they're all
minutes.
hiding.
Seconds, actually.
Yikes! Really? Don't startle me like that.
Hey, a giant PSP.
Voice! I heard someone, Iffy! Yeah, I got that. Do you know which direction it came from? I think it was that way.
Get ready for the stupidest run ever.
Oh, please wait for me!
They both run like complete and utter morons, and unfortunately, that hasn't changed since the first game. So there's something to be said for consistency, but it looks retarded. Third achievement popped here, due to the unnecessary suggestive bondage going on in the background.
Oh no!
In fact, I believe the trophy, achievement, whatever we're calling it, was actually called Bound and Gagged. Oh good, jiggle physics. They barely have character models, but they did spend the time to make jiggle physics. People over at Dead or Alive would be so proud.
Who could be responsible for this? Hey, you hear me now? She's out cold. Jeez, what the hell are all these tentacle cord things?
Force alone
Japan.
can remove those bindings. Compa, please use the Sharasite.
Sure, let me just... I know I keep it near the bottom of my purse, next to my band-aids.
I cannot allow you to do that!
Ooh, a new character.
Who are you? Get out of here!
Where was she keeping those blade things?
Welcome to your graveyard.
They popped out of her sleeve and they're twice the size of the sleeve. I feel like she'd be wearing just ribbons at this point if they were stored in her clothing somewhere.
Play with.
I don't really get his rambling, but he seems fired up. I'll handle him, Compa. You hurry and get the CPUs. Yes!
Alright, I think I get to try a fight now. Nope. Just gonna stare at boobs some more.
Gigi, are you waking up? Compa? I think that I'm so glad. Okay then, let's free the other CPUs.
Just kidding about the fight thing. I'm just gonna look at boobs, apparently.
This isn't fun at all. Come on, do something entertaining.
Oh yeah? Nepgear! Sorry, not the best noise for you to hear right after waking up, huh? Be careful. His strength is beyond anything I could have imagined. I'll back you up too. We must hold him off until all the CPUs wake back up. I'll fight too.
Well, yeah, that's what they were just saying, is we need you to fight him. And that will back you up. Come on, skip this crap. He yelled damn it 4 times while being attacked. 4. I feel that that's a bit excessive.
Is that really the extent of your power?
Attacks aren't phasing him. Compa, power Nep and the others.
Still tied up.
They aren't reviving at all.
This may indicate the power of the Sharasite is insufficient.
No way! What are we supposed to do? Are we going to lose? No! I refuse to give up!
Enough! Nothing is more cumbersome than dealing with weak.
I don't know why, but before he said that, I read that as cucumber.
No! I can't! I'm not strong enough! Wait! If we use all the Sharasite's power, we might pull through!
So you were only using bits and pieces before?
Yeah!
What's this light? My eyes! My eyes! My eyes!
It's working! Way to go, Gear! Did we make it?
And dead.
Gigi? Please be alright!
Gigi, I thought you just called her Gear.
Pass out now!
You gotta pick one nickname.
Once my visual system reboots, I will tear you all to pieces!
Please retreat. We cannot handle the situation given our current condition.
Copy that! Compa, we're carrying Gear out of here! Yes! Looks like we got away. Gigi is a lot heavier than she looks. She's the only one we managed to rescue. What's more, the Sharasite cracked when Gigi used it. I don't think we can even try to rescue the CPUs now.
Do not be discouraged. Saving Nepgear is worthy of praise. You have accomplished something great.
Not that great, because the other 4 are still tied up and probably going to be raped and or murdered, but you know, you saved the one, so that's a
Please
thing.
return to Planitude. I am certain Nepgear would like to sleep in her own bed. I also wish to learn what exactly transpired 3 years ago, though I know it will be painful to recall.
And the intro marches on. Although, in all fairness, there was that 10 seconds of playtime here.
Good morning.
Oh, it's Sailor Moon. Excellent.
Finally! Do you know how long we've been worrying about you? I'm so glad. You've been sleeping for days and we were concerned. We took your vital signs every 3 hours.
Has your illness receded?
She wasn't ill. She was near
I'm
death.
back to normal.
Illness is when you get the flu.
That is...
She didn't get sick. She got beat the shit out of her by some big-ass green dude.
I apologize, Nepgear. I am responsible for this debacle. It was I who sent you all out on a fool's errand.
Bitch.
Huh? No! I was going to apologize first. It's not your fault. I just wasn't strong enough.
That's very true of the Game Gear.
I must ask you to recount what occurred in the graveyard 3 years ago. Can you do this for me?
Sure.
It took you guys 3 years to realize the bad guy had them held in the graveyard? That's the first place I'd check.
Impossible. Game industry CPUs were bested by a single opponent? It's hard for me to believe, too. Those girls are tough like cold sores.
What?
I don't think that's a compliment. What's going to happen to game industry? I mean, it's been 3 years since the CPUs lost the battle there, right?
Well, clearly it's going to hell then.
The situation is dire, I am afraid. ASIC has taken control of the world. Everyone knows of them and their power.
R4's heretical followers are handing out illegal chips like candy. It's natural to see kids with several. People like
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what R4 or ASIC are supposed to be. I'm sure they're symbolic of something, but I really don't know what.
It took us such a long time to gather enough faith to make that tiny piece of Shericite. With the CPUs all in captivity, it's only natural that people stop believing in them. We failed to save them, too.
My supposition is that ASIC's primary objective is to revive their guardian deity. Should the current situation persist, it is but a matter of time.
Can't we do anything about it?
Yes, one way yet remains. The Sisters of the CPUs, the CPU candidates, remain free. This includes you, Neptune.
At least they haven't broke the fourth wall yet. The intro in the last game was full of that.
You mean the other CPUs have sisters, too?
Indeed. The only individuals with the ability to regain the shares of game industry are the CPU candidates.
Okay, so if the Game Gear here is the sister of the Sega, Neptune, I would imagine the Nintendo equivalent would be the Game Boy.
Shares on my sister's
The Sony would be PSP, but what the hell is Microsoft's? There's no handheld or sister or whatever we're calling them.
I want to save her. I want to restore order to the
So
world.
I see plot holes forthcoming.
That powerful monster. There's no way I stand a chance. Isn't that a bit idealistic? If they spawn faster than we can act, it'll be another fool's errand. Yes.
Why do fools have so many errands?
People already worship
I feel like if you're a fool, you don't really care about the basic shit of day-to-day life, and you have very little errands. I feel like you basically just sit around and dick off all day.
Aid from each nation's mascot character.
Nations have mascots?
Oh god.
Quite so. When the mascot is recognized worldwide, it creates order in a manner akin to what the true goddess desired.
Well, I see Sonic coming up soon too.
Mascots reside in each nation, providing prosperity and an abundance of sustenance to the nation's citizens.
Again, this brings me back to question Xbox. Who the hell would their mascot be? Nintendo's got thousands. Sega obviously is Sonic. Sony, I don't know who they'd go with now, but back in the original generation, I would have gone with Crash or Spyro. Xbox, though,
I didn't know mascots are such
most of their exclusives are all shooters. I don't see Master Chief as a very good mascot.
However, we have yet to acquire reliable information on their whereabouts. I am in the process of researching.
It's a mascot that inspires faith, and you can't figure out where it is? The mascot's usually like the showiest, most noticeable thing anywhere. Have you ever seen a sports game? They do backflips.
This should also prove to be a good rehabilitation exercise for Neptune.
Well, yeah, she's been tied up by those cord things for 3 years. It's time to stretch her legs a bit. Hey, you listening to us here?
Nope.
Oh, yes, I'm always listening.
No, that's the Connect.
I trust you all to complete this task. I nearly forgot. Allow me to also entrust you with this.
What's this? A toy?
This is an N-gear, a very functional device your sister loved. I am sure it will come in handy on your travels.
I hope that's not supposed to be the N-Gage, because that thing was crap. Oh good, more tutorials. Yeah, we can skip that. Oh, okay. Voiceovers are over, I guess. Now it's time to read. Which is always fun. Alright, well, I've already wasted 20 minutes of your time on the intro from Hell, and now that they're not even going to read it, I don't feel like narrating it to you, so I guess this is all I'm going to give you. I hope you enjoyed watching the intro to this ridiculous game with me. Despite the intro being terrible and ridiculous, though, the first game was amazing. This one probably will be too. So, before I even really actually get to play it, I'm just going to recommend go buy it. It's probably awesome. Okay, bye. Alright, so you made it through the whole thing, and I'm guessing you're still watching because if you weren't, you hadn't seen this. So, hey, thanks for watching. If you have any games you want me to review, any system, any game, anything, let me know. Leave a comment down in the YouTube dealy down there, and tell me what you want me to play, because I'll play it and review it. And then you can be like, hey, I told him to do that. I kind of own him. He's like my little bitch. I'd prefer you not think of me that way, but hey, if it keeps you watching,